There are moments in space exploration when something appears on the data that shouldn't be there. Not noise, not a glitch, something real. And for a brief moment, just long enough to be captured, something on Mars moved. Then it vanished.
Let's rewind. Mars has always been a planet of mystery. A cold, dry desert world covered in dust, rock, and silence. But it wasn't always like this. Billions of years ago, Mars had rivers, lakes, possibly even oceans. Conditions that, at least for a time, may have been suitable for life. That's why missions have been sent there for decades. Orbiters, landers, rovers. Each one with a simple goal. Find out what Mars was and what it might still be hiding. Now, imagine this. A rover. Millions of miles away from Earth, slowly scanning the Martian surface. Every movement is calculated. Every image transmitted back across space, one signal at a time. And then, in one of those images, something doesn't add up.
At first, it looks ordinary. A patch of terrain, rocks, dust, shadows. But when scientists compare images taken moments apart, they notice a difference. Something has shifted. Not by much, but enough. A shape that wasn't there before now is. Or worse, something that was there is suddenly gone. Now here's the important part. Mars is not a place where things should just move. There are no animals, no visible ecosystems, no confirmed active life. So when something appears to move, the first reaction isn't excitement, it's skepticism.
Because in science, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And Mars is full of illusions. Let's talk about that. The Martian surface plays tricks on perception. Shadows stretch across uneven ground. Light shifts depending on the sun's angle. Dust can settle or lift without warning. A small rock can look like it changed position, when in reality, it's just the lighting. This is called parallax, a shift in perspective that makes objects appear to move when viewed from different angles. And it happens all the time. Then there's the wind. Mars may seem still, but it isn't. It has dust storms, some of the largest in the entire solar system, winds that can reshape entire regions over time. They can move fine particles, shift small debris, even clean solar panels on rovers. So, if something moved, could it just be the wind? Possibly, but not everything fits that explanation. Some observations show changes that happen too quickly, too precisely. Not just drifting dust, but defined shapes, edges, structures that seem to appear and disappear. So what else could explain it? One possibility is dust devils.
Small, tornado-like whirlwinds that move across the Martian surface. They're invisible at times, but they can carry dust and debris with them. If one passes through a scene between two images, it could make it look like something moved or vanished. Another possibility is thermal expansion. Mars experiences extreme temperature changes. During the day, the surface heats up. At night, it drops drastically. This constant expansion and contraction can shift rocks, crack surfaces, and subtly alter the landscape. And then there are imaging artifacts. Remember, everything we see from Mars is captured by cameras, compressed into data, transmitted across millions of kilometers, and reconstructed here on Earth. Along the way, small distortions can happen. A missing pixel, a compression glitch, a shadow misinterpreted by the sensor. All of these can create the illusion of movement. But here's where things get interesting, because not every anomaly is easily dismissed. There have been cases where objects appear in one frame, but are completely absent in the next. No clear dust trail, no visible disturbance, just gone.
And that raises a deeper question. Are we always seeing Mars as it truly is? Or are we seeing a version of it, filtered through distance, technology, and interpretation? Think about it. Every image from Mars is delayed, processed, selected. We're not watching Mars in real time. We're reconstructing it piece by piece. So when something unusual appears, we don't just question the planet, we question the data, the instruments, the angle, the conditions, everything. Because the truth is, Mars is still largely unknown. We've mapped its surface, analyzed its soil, detected traces of ancient water, but we haven't explored it fully, not even close. There are vast regions untouched by rovers, underground structures we can't see, subsurface ice, possibly even liquid water in protected environments, places where conditions are more stable, more protected, more interesting. And that leads to the biggest question of all. Could something still exist there? Not necessarily intelligent life, not moving creatures, but microbial life. Simple organisms, something that reacts, changes, moves in ways we don't fully understand yet. Right now, there is no confirmed evidence of active life on Mars, but there are hints. Methane spikes detected in the atmosphere, organic molecules found in the soil. Clues that something is happening. And when you combine that with unexplained movement, even if rare, it becomes harder to ignore. Still, science doesn't jump to conclusions. It investigates carefully, slowly, methodically. Every anomaly is tested, every explanation explored, every possibility challenged. Because most mysteries eventually turn out to have simple answers: lighting, wind, perspective. But not all of them. And that's what makes moments like this so powerful. A single image, a single change, a single unexplained movement. It reminds us that even in a place as studied as Mars, there are still things we don't understand. And maybe that's the most important part. Not that something moved, but that for a moment, we didn't know why. Because that's where discovery begins. In uncertainty, in questions, in the space between what we see and what we understand. So the next time you hear that something strange was found on Mars, don't just ask what it was. Ask how we know. Ask what we might be missing. Because somewhere in that gap, between data and reality, there may still be secrets waiting. And whatever moved on Mars, whether it was wind, shadow, or something more, for a brief moment, it reminded us that the universe is still full of surprises.